Well, good afternoon. Welcome once again to Barnsley. This afternoon, Barnsley entertained Swindon Town, and frankly, this season, the situations are more or less reversed from last season. Swindon were really the team of the second division under Ozzy Ardiles. They played outstanding football and got into the playoffs at the end of the season, but of course, what happened thereafter is now history. Swindon could very easily have been members of the first division this time round. That possibility certainly exists so far as Swindon are concerned at the present time. They're playing excellent football. They are one of the most impressive teams in the second division and are operating well within their financial resources. However, enough of politics. On to the game. Barnsley this afternoon have selected the following side: Baker in goal, Banks, Jerry Taggart, Brian McCord, Gary Fleming, Carl Tyler, Brendan O'Connell, Andy Rammell, Andy Saville, Steve Agnew and Owen Archdeacon, with Cooper and Smith as the named substitutes. Swindon Town, Fraser Digby in goal, David Kerslake, Bodin, McLaughlin, Tanner, Gittings, Jones, Shearer, Duncan Shearer, and he can be a danger to any side, Steve White, Ross McLaren and Fitzroy Simpson, with Foley and Vivash as their named subs. Well, a comparatively good afternoon. There is some rain about, but good conditions for football, and a game which we hope Mr. West from Hull will control adequately so that everyone viewing is going to have a most enjoyable time. So let's see. Goals are the name of the game, and let's see just which side is capable of finding the net today most frequently. Well, it's Swindon moving the ball around intelligently. There you see David Kerslake playing a risky ball back, and good work by Andy Rammell to win possession. And here we see the man that makes the play from midfield, Steve Agnew. What a good player he is. And nerves there by Fraser Digby. One or two mistakes like that, and it can only be beneficial as far as Barnsley are concerned. So the long left-footed clearance back, and a good move here. Now can Andy Saville make something of this? A good attempt, and there's an opportunity here, and just saved on the line. Well, certainly nerves showing there in the Swindon defence, and if Barnsley can capitalise on that nervousness, it could be an afternoon to remember. Fraser Digby once again predominantly left-footed, and here we get Agnew, a good layoff, and once more Swindon playing the ball down the left side, but a throw in to Swindon, and David Kerslake with the long ball. So Steve White bringing McLaughlin into the game, and Barnsley concede their first corner. Fitzroy Simpson, speedy player and a good player, to Tom Jones. Nice chip into the box, but the attempt on goal mishit, and Clive Baker caused no problems at all. In fact, probably thoroughly enjoying his first touch of the ball today. Throw into Swindon. The gentleman over there on the far side from Crewe, so he should know how to wave a flag. Good forceful play at the back there, but Swindon being hustled out of possession, and slight miss hit there and a free kick. There's a little bit of over-eagerness there by Andy Rammell. And what a shrewd buy he proved to be, or is proving to be, there. A long-range effort, well off target. Good shot there of Baker. Flick on, but Swindon gaining possession. Good headed clearance, and Ian Banks not able to control that one with his usual deftness, and the linesman flagging for an offence at the back by Gary Fleming, pushing on the Swindon player, and Tom Jones going to take one of those awkward free kicks, I think, which curls away from the keeper. Yep. And quite sensibly, no risks being taken, as that's tucked away behind for a corner. And there you see Fitzroy Simpson leaving the ball for Tom Jones to make this an in-swinger. Now this could be quite tantalising. But once more, the red shirts of the Barnsley side mass on the goal line and get it away safely. Not a bad corner, it certainly swung into the goal mouth quite menacingly. Good covering there, and Swindon coming back, a nice ball flicked on, but Tom Jones closed down immediately. Simpson with the layoff and a very determined challenge at the back. Now, can something be set up here? Good ball forward. A little bit too much shown by Andy Rammell, and nice intelligent ball inside. A wrap of the ankles there on Gary Fleming, and a free kick, says the referee, Mr. West. Long clearance, in fact a bit too long. Kept in play by Fraser Digby. And the Swindon keeper very obviously one-footed, not making very good clearance with that 1 foot. Too much asked of Steve Agnew, and Swindon getting this forward, but again good covering at the back, and Steve Agnew with a bit of space invariably uses the ball to maximum advantage. Disappointment there, but good backing up. And there you see Brendan O'Connell pushing the ball through the centre of the Swindon defence, who at this stage look quite comfortable, although some very obvious nerves in the first couple of minutes. Building well though through midfield. Nicely taken at the back, and Gary Fleming looking comfortable and having a distinct understanding with his goalkeeper Clive Baker. Well, there you see Banks trying to play that one over the full back, but it didn't quite come off. So once again, Fraser Digby with an opportunity to clear, plays it short. And Swindon playing very much in the mould of their manager Ozzy Ardiles, who really has been a wonderful influence on English football. His days at Tottenham were highly successful, and he's in charge of something of a problem club, but is doing, or was doing, quite well this season. Hasn't been quite as good for them. There you see Owen Archdeacon for the first time coming into the game, playing a good ball forward. Now Brendan O'Connell, he loves the freedom of the flank. Steve Agnew tempting a tackle, moving away from a good ball forward, and a little bit of bad luck there for Brendan once again, as Swindon get the ball away down the park. Brendan O'Connell, I think, asks a great deal of himself, and is frequently disappointed when some of the things that he attempts to do don't always come off. But it would be a shame to discourage a player with his flair, and I think given time he's going to be an even better player than the one he already is. Handball given against Owen Archdeacon, who protests his innocence, but I think maybe on that occasion the referee was correct. And Jones, the Swindon player, feeling he's been treated a wee bit unfairly in having to bring the ball back. But old Baker was barged then as the ball came to him by Steve White, who can be quite an aggressive attacker at times. And now Swindon, with McLaughlin playing well in midfield, bringing Kerslake into the game. Kerslake forced wide, a good layoff. Jones chips it into the box, but no reward, as Clive Baker wisely takes his time to place the ball. And there you see the loyal Barnsley fans behind Baker's goal as he gets it away up the park. Good clearance, but again good work at the back, and this time it's Jerry Taggart doing well. Oh, good flick on now. The pace of the ball just too much for Andy Saville. And again Swindon making tracks down the right flank. Good run by Kerslake. Oh, and good ball forward. Free kick against Ian Banks. The obstruction rule at times is a little difficult to interpret. Ian Banks really didn't take his man on that occasion. He had no alternative other than to barge into him, but the free kick given, and the header quite well cleared, but back it'll come from Swindon. Nicky Tanner, the long ball forward, cut off once again at the back, and Brendan O'Connell moving well right across the front line. Bit of good foil for Steve Agnew. But Swindon at the moment perhaps seeing a wee bit too much of the ball. These two sides still in the stage of feeling each other out. And good play by Swindon, a nice layoff. And Brian McCord coming into the box, and not a bad effort there, right across the face of the goal. And need I say, Brian McCord always delights me. A 100% player, never flinches, gives his all, and quite apart from his endeavour, there's no little skill there in that frame. Now Fraser Digby, the left-footed, left-handed keeper. Is he going to be beaten? And if he is, how many times will he be beaten? this afternoon here at Oakwell. Always the optimist. As Barnsley move away down the left side. Oh, good running at the back. Gittins tidying up well for Swindon. Bit of a push there, but Swindon in possession, allowed to play on, and the cross finally put behind, but off the Barnsley player. So Swindon a bit fortunate, I think, there to get this corner, and once more Tom Jones goes over to take it. Well, again, I suspect this will be an in-swinger, and Tom Jones quite capable of just dropping these into the danger area well inside the 6-yard box. And there we see a good indication of it, but very well read by Clive Baker. And this season, Baker seems to have improved with each game. He started as quite a competent custodian, but he now seems to have gained in confidence from the players around him, and in turn to have inspired them. So Swindon coming forward, as Andy Rammell's anticipation wasn't quite correct. Now there you see Shearer being caught in possession, and Gittins at the back playing the sweeper's role. I beg your pardon, that was Nicky Tanner. Now, Owen Archdeacon has been a bit quiet so far this time, screwing the ball out of play. Now, can Agnew get there? The answer's no, but it's a throw to Barnsley. Archdeacon on the ball. Back to Owen. And that took a deflection on its way forward. So Swindon through Ross McLaren, playing it down to Tom Jones. Jones tackle. And I would have said quite fairly. No point in making an issue of that one. Oh, the referee really a bit out of order there. Okay, spoke to Andy Saville, but there was certainly no foul. It seemed to me that the player, whatever damage he's done to himself, he did as he fell. So flick inside, well cleared, but the layoff not quite so good as the clearance. However, free kick given by the referee at the instigation of his linesman. And Clive Baker just bowls it away. And Barnsley build away down the right flank. Saville leaving that one for Brendan. I thought partially obstructed there as the fullback Paul Bodin came across him, but as usual the referee didn't agree with me. So Fraser Digby gets it away down the park, where it comes back immediately. Agnew moving away from danger so easily, so comfortably now. Good ball forward, but just and again Fraser Digby showing those nerves that were so very evident in the early stages of this game. And I think Swindon have got a keeper that could be in for a nightmare afternoon if those two incidents are indicative of the way he's going to play for the rest of this game. Now, good layoff there by O'Connell. And this could be dangerous. No, a shot. Mishit. in wide of the far post. Not too many Swindon supporters travelled up to Yorkshire for this game. As Digby hits that one down the park. An awkward ball there for the last man back to clear, but it was scooped away. And back comes Swindon, a little bit of pushing there, and a good effort and a good return ball, and an unnecessary fall, I think, there by Swindon Steve White. And that's shaken Gary Fleming up quite a wee bit, although Gary was doing a bit of shirt tugging. The first sign of any possible aggression in the game. The referee doing well, calming everything down and allowing the free kick to be taken. Tom Jones then flights that one in well. Again, Brendan O'Connell gets it away, back it comes, and it's O'Connell chasing but unable to get there before it's out of play. Oh, good back header and a good layoff. And as the cross comes in, it's the Barnsley defence that puts it away at the expense of a corner, but it was precisely done. So the short corner from Simpson to Jones, the fullback overlapping and overhitting his cross, and a little bit of barging there between Nicky Tanner and I think it was Andy Saville that had come very, very deep indeed, and the referee somewhat overemphasising his point. So back comes Swindon, good play down the left side, but equally good work at the back, pulling there under the nose of the referee. He saw precisely what happened, and he's calling the Swindon player to him. It was blatant shirt tugging by Fitzroy Simpson, and is this going to be the first booking of the game? I think it may well be. Yes, Simpson's name goes into the book. Well, I think that was a bit over the top by the referee. A word of warning should have been sufficient, I think. There's no real nastiness yet has penetrated this game as Baker plays it well. A good layoff, and oh yes, a nice move now. Archdeacon with that beautiful left foot of his this time didn't make maximum use of it, so back comes Swindon, and the defence a little bit stretched as McLaughlin cuts in towards the box, but there you see Brendan once again, Brendan O'Connell fighting for possession, very determined lad. Already a good player, but he's got the makings of an exceptional one in my book. So Carl Tyler, very composed, and not a good layoff, but back it comes. Oh, an excellent ball, well laid off by Steve Agnew. Good cross into the box, up the other head side, a good effort, and this really was the first time we've seen Fraser Digby doing well for Swindon. With the nervous start that he had to the game, it was odds on then that that ball was going to be the first goal of the game. Unfortunately, Fraser Digby came to life. So Steve Agnew, a good ball into the box, and again a good header, but just over the top. On target, and that would have been number one. So the score remains Barnsley 0, Swindon 0. good flick on, an appeal for handball, it's not given, and a late tackle, and the referee comes over to speak for Jerry Taggart. Well, perhaps I'm biased, but I didn't read any malice in that at all. Taggart, coming back, did make a despairing lunge at the ball, and the Swindon player, Duncan Shearer, does need a wee bit of attention. But I think a bit unfortunate there that Jerry Taggart should pick up a booking for that one. And Shearer, quite capable of carrying on without any long-term problems whatsoever. So here's the free kick, and totally wasted. Once again, Baker with the goal kick. The game needing a goal now. We've seen some reasonable play, but both sides have felt each other out. They've got an idea of the way they're going to play, and this could be nasty. But again, Baker had come forward, he'd narrowed the angles, and for the first time, Barnsley just a wee bit exposed at the back. And Swindon, who last season would certainly have accepted an opportunity like that, this season they're missing them, such as the capricious nature of this great game of ours. Now another foul, and this time the referee keeps his notebook in his pocket. So a good cross, up go the head as the ball drops, and there you see Digby coming off his line, but I thought he came off a wee bit uncertainly. There seems to be a high degree of nervousness in the Swindon keeper this afternoon. But Swindon now laying this one off, and Bernard Steeken coming into the game. Good ball from him. And a nice pass forward. Can Steve Agnew make it? Not quite. And Swindon lucky to scrape that one away. The ball kept in play, and a long delivery across the park does finally reach Tom Jones. Nice layoff here, but then a wasted cross. Typical defender cross there, high over the bar for a goal kick. So we still have no goals, as once again Clyde Baker comes in for this goal kick. Well taken at the back. Tanner plays it long, but comfortably back again to Baker. Taggart pushing this one down the line, and throw to Barnsley just inside the Swindon half. Saville, a good layoff. Now then, Jerry Taggart squaring the ball. Archdeacon with plenty of options ahead of him, moving into the edge of the box. And his final delivery forward did leave quite a bit to be desired, but it is a throw near the corner flag, and Brendan O'Connell leaves this one to Ian Banks, who's obviously going to go for the long throw. Up go the heads, flick back, but Swindon gets it away down the park, and a kind layoff there, and here's Jerry Taggart making ground. A good ball forward for Steve Agnew. He's not quite able to get to it before Nicky Tanner turns it through to Digby. So Barnsley beginning to show some of the aggression that I know Mel Machin will be looking for, as that ball runs rather kindly for a throw-in. Now it'll be the long one by Swindon. No, it won't. The short ball, a little bit of pushing there. The referee lets him get away with it, but a good interception by Brian McCord and a good delivery forward. Well laid off by Agnew. Now Archdeacon with space uses the ball well, turns it inside. Banks trying to put inside his man is robbed, and it's Swindon back on the attack, laying it down the right flank. White forced to move wide, turns it back. Intelligent play as it's played into Kerslake on the edge of the box, pushing it through for Jones, and the cross beautifully taken by Clive Baker. So Baker to Jerry Taggart, and now out of his hands the Barnsley keeper finds Sabel, his layoff. A wee bit misdirected, and it's Swindon forcing the way down the park, where Brendan O'Connell, in his usual enthusiasm, does a wee bit too much and brings down the Swindon man for a free kick from what could be quite a dangerous position. And Paul Bowden of Swindon replacing a divot there. I'm sure the groundsman will be obliged to him for that, as the ball's retrieved, and the Swindon skipper standing over the, or at least standing alongside, ready to possibly take the kick. And the shot blocked, and again Andy Rammell back in defence, turning that one away into touch for a throw-in. Still no goals. David Kerslake with the throw for Swindon. And a lazy ball easily picked off. Now Barnsley moving down the right flank. Long toss into the centre. This could be dangerous, but again it didn't run too kindly. Andy Rammell and Digby gathers. But in spite of all their possession, Swindon have never really looked dangerous, and at the back Barnsley quite comfortable, as they're happy to play short balls out of defence, which I think should pay off in the long run. That cross blocked, and the throw to Barnsley halfway inside the Swindon half. But the game certainly needing a goal, as from the throw in Swindon come back out of their own half. Oh, a good ball forward and intelligent running by Ian McLaughlin. He's driven wide onto the far side. Taggart's closing him down, but it's turned in well for McLaren. McLaren right across the park, and again good play by Kerslake, but no way is he going to go past Brendan O'Connell as he now feeds Steve Agnew. And Steve taking on the Barnsley defence, moving away from two tackles, but the square ball asking just a wee bit too much of Ian Banks. Back it comes into the box, and Digby takes it without any challenge and sets Swindon underway. Again, Agnew, a good layoff, good ball forward. Swindon have got men up front, and under challenge, all that Swindon are able to do is to tuck it away over the line for a throw from a good position for Swindon. The long ball into the box could prove dangerous here. So Brian McCord slipped as he played that one, but an effort by Banks comes loose, and it's into the net, and it's a good goal, the first one of the afternoon. And the man who's put so much into his game today, Brendan O'Connell, deservedly gets that should set the game alight and should ease the tension that was beginning to show a wee bit in the Barnsley side, because although they were holding Swindon were being allowed to play perhaps a little bit too much football, and now Swindon in the lead, 1-0. The goal scorer Brendan O'Connell, and the player who really has given his all so far this afternoon, and no doubt that's just the incentive that he needed to make it a good afternoon both for him and for Barnsley. So Owen Archdeacon, who's been quiet so far, playing it forward, good ball, nice turn, and Andy Rammell doing everything he knew to get at that one, but committing a foul in the process. Swindon then get this one away down the park, but another good interception in Swindon, really with an uphill battle facing them now as they trail by 1-0 here in Yorkshire. Now, long clearance down the park, and once again Alan McLaughlin stopped in his tracks, and Agnew setting things up with a good layoff. Banks, an equally good ball forward, but this time not well received by Agnew, and Swindon take over. Back they come, and a rather clumsy tackle there by Owen Archdeacon. He gets away with it. Agnew lays the long ball across the park, but the forwards not able to capitalise on it. The referee waves play on. Good ball forward and a quick interception, but off the ball. Ryan McCord brought down as he parted, and free kick to Barnsley, quickly taken. Archdeacon playing it well inside, but Barnsley covering well, and once more it's Clyde Baker in possession. So a second goal will be an invaluable cushion for Barnsley, who lead currently by 1-0. Swindon doing well there. Simpson moves through the centre, good layoff. Kerslake, oh, a good pass, but Swindon a little bit too clever there, and Steve Agnew shows them just how it should be done. Long ball into the box, and Andy Saville's sheer physique taking him through that tackle. Agnew now. Good one for Banks. Banks, as usual, with this roving commission, plays it wide, and Swindon having difficulty getting it away. Banks, the short ball, but it didn't work, and now it's an easy one at the back as Nicky Tanner brings Digby into the game. Free kick. Archdeacon going deep the whole time this afternoon, gets the ball back, lays it off, and Barnsley moving it across the back four. Poor ball forward, easily intercepted, and Swindon now playing the long diagonal cross with their attacker White bringing Jones into the game, and his ball wins the corner. Barnsley in the lead, but by only one goal, scored by Brendan O'Connell, and no player deserved it more, as Swindon miss another opportunity The ball scooped away, but back it comes wide, and no problem for Barnsley. And O'Connell turning it inside for Banks, who offered himself quickly from the back, but his pass forward catches Andy Saville just fractionally offside. Well, Swindon looking as though they're beginning to run out of ideas. They need to change it a wee bit, because at the back Barnsley are looking very, very comfortable indeed, and most of the Swindon attacks coming down the right flank are being well held, with Owen Archdeacon having to come deep, but nevertheless it is nullifying whatever threat Swindon feel they might have from their right flank. So the offside flag up once again, and pressure relieved on Swindon with this free kick from the edge of the centre circle. And again, confidence the side have in their goalkeeper Clive Baker, as that header is pumped down into the penalty area. So again, right-footed Clive Baker hits it long and hard, and Jerry Taggart taking over gives him a chance to do the same thing again. Good flick on into space, but Fraser Digby, first man there. So it's still Swindon 1, Barnsley 1, Swindon 0. Brendan O'Connell, the man that tucked the ball away. Now, that ball forward rather telegraphed, easily cut off, but the throw goes to Swindon. Jerry Taggart once again turned inside to Banks. Banks slipped as he delivered that one, but it finds Archdeacon, and his pass inside easily cleared, but throw to Barnsley. Now can Archdeacon taunt the Barnsley defence, the Swindon defence? No, went past one man, couldn't beat two, and so it's Swindon coming away. Tom Jones here on the right in possession, the full-back offering himself. Good pass down the line, a good return ball for Jones, and his left-footed shot swinging away from goal the whole time. So Swindon certainly lacking the power and the punch and the incisiveness that they showed throughout most of last season. They seem to have lost their way a wee bit, and they're causing no headaches whatsoever to the Barnsley players at the back. Baker then. And the whistle goes for pushing. Free kick to Barnsley. And there we see a good shot of Fleming. Gary Fleming. And a diving header getting this away, but Fleming puts it back again. Not a good wide ball, and that allows Swindon. But Clive Baker showed confident that he came a long way out of his box then. However, it was effective, but back comes Swindon, and this time Ian Banks, the Barnsley number 2, on David Kerslake, the Swindon number 2, and the free kick goes Swindon's way. But again, comfortable clearance. Again, Swindon through Kerslake, playing it through the centre, and an easy one once more for Clive Baker. Nicely taken and well delivered. Oh, and a good ball from Agnew. Very precise. And Agnew again, forward to Banks. Banks wide on the far side. Now, good ball into the and once again, Digby, not the safest of keepers by any means. But he did keep the ball out, and this is a chance here for Swindon. And Shearer trying to be a little bit too precise there. He had a great opportunity all the time in the world. He could have picked his spot, really, which is what he endeavoured to do, but he tried to be just too precise with his delivery and failed completely to hit the target. So, Clive Baker quite relieved, I think, to see that one go wide, and the first time that Swindon have really opened up the Barnsley defence. And it would have been something of a disaster if Swindon had equalised at that stage just immediately before half-time. But the score stands, the only goal of the game, Brendan O'Connell getting it after 34 minutes, Barnsley going in leading by 1-0, and a side I think that can be quite pleased with the display that they've put on, but I feel sure that Mel Machin will say he wants just that little bit extra in the second half. Both teams, I think, lining up in identical manner to the setup in the first half. Swindon have played well. They have taken the game to Barnsley, but Barnsley have been more than capable of keeping them at bay, and frankly the well-organised Barnsley defence will take a bit of beating by any side, first or second division, this season. They're playing so confidently and so competently that I think any side would be hard-pressed to beat them by a substantial score. However, as I say that, it's Swindon trying to force the ball through, and here Simpson plays the long cross way into touch on the far side. So 1 goal separating the teams at this stage, but certainly a degree of confidence around the ground that suggests that Barnsley may get 1 or 2 more. And now the linesman flagging for an infringement over on the far side. Frankly, one that I missed, and certainly I think one the referee missed. So a good cross into the box, but well-headed clear, and my word, a rasping drive on goal there, and Clive Baker reacting well, but no real danger. So it'll be interesting to see what the two managers said at half-time, and which of the two teams react most positively to the instructions that were given. So another little push. The referee at this stage tending to interfere with play a wee bit more than he did in the first half. In the first half, I've got to say that Mr. West from Hull did allow the game to flow fairly well and did a reasonably good job. So Swindon clearing, and Alan McLaughlin doing well for Swindon at the back, and a player that I'm sure Mel Machin will have made a point of to his players to close down a little bit more rapidly. Now here, Owen Archdeacon turns, plays a good ball forward. Well taken by Andy Saville. A good ball into Steve Agnew. Now Steve playing this through into space, and a hasty but effective back pass to Fraser Digby. And he's getting much more length. And you see a slight push and a few acrobatics at the back there. It shows how fit he is. But Brendan O'Connell will be going in to a good tackle there. So Clive Baker kicking against the wind this half, but getting good distance. Steve Agnew bringing Brian McCord into the game. A loose ball from Brian as Swindon come back. A nice play here. Swindon moving forward well. Fleming playing this one between the defenders, and some confusion there by Swindon. Players getting in each other's way, which indicates that they're not as confident in each other as certainly the Swindon back four are. Bit of a dive in the box as Baker takes over. Now good lay off there by Ian Banks. And Brian McCord, long ball forward. Deft little flick at the back. And Swindon's move forward, breaking down. There's Banks again, pushes the long ball forward, but overhits that one. And Swindon with the goal kick. A little bit risky at the back there by Swindon, but they've still got possession. McLaren swings this one wide for Tom Jones to stroke on, cross into the box, but Baker again taking that with consummate ease. Chest down there by Tanner, and good play at the back by David Kerslake, who's been quite impressive this afternoon. And an infringement, offside was it? No, pushing, says the referee, calling the player to him, namely Steve White. Not a bad player, Steve White. He can put himself about a bit. He scored some good goals for Swindon, but he's being capably handled by Barnsley. And Baker now. Good long ball. Agnew. The easy ball, but the effective one is McCord. I thought it overhit that, but no, back it comes. McCord again, drawing his man to him before laying it off now. Bit of a sloppy back pass, but McCord doing well, and a good ball through, but offside. Good running by Ian Banks. But a little bit too enthusiastic. And now another good player, David Kerslake, coming down the line. Bit of pushing there, and I think that will go Swindon's way. Lake rather telegraphing his intention there. Good control, but once again the attack breaks down on the edge of the box, and Steve Agnew accelerating, but pushed off the ball by Paul Bowden, and Bowden gets away with it as Swindon move forward. It's that man from the midfield, McLaughlin again, turning it wide on the right. A good chip into the box, up go the heads, but steered away. Back they come, McLaughlin once more. I beg his pardon, Tom Jones. And Tanner. The edge of the area, McLaughlin this time turning into trouble. And this could be dangerous. And the push and shoot. Yes, in a good position. Gittins was protesting his innocence, but well, will Gittins get his marching orders, because he's already, I think, been booked on one occasion. What's going to happen here? And what colour card is coming out of the referee's pocket? It is the red one, and Gittins must go. I think that's a little bit harsh on Swindon and John Gittins having to walk. But it was a push. I suppose it was a foul, but I think a lecture from the referee would have been sufficient there. But really, Swindon now down to 10 men, and they really have got an uphill task. Oh, a lovely move, and unfortunately the finishing shot now in Archdeacon just off target, but that really was a well worked, well rehearsed move from that free kick. So, are we going to see what happens very, very often in football? 10 men pull out all the stops and become a more difficult force to beat than 11, or are Swindon going to more or less collapse altogether? Well, the evidence of that last shot indicates that they may cause a few problems, because Clive Baker certainly had a very awkward, difficult ball to deal with then. However, he dealt with it, and dealt with it efficiently at the expense of a corner. So Tom Jones, the in-swinger, and another corner. And of course, if Swindon are fortunate enough to get a goal at this stage, it could give them that impetus that they so badly need. And again, nodded down and cleared. So maybe the thought is already beginning to creep into the Wiltshire players that this is not going to be their day. Steve Agnew tackling well, and again very composed, very careful, and very precise in everything he does. So Swindon coming back at Barnsley, and that 10 men having to work really hard. That one pushed through towards Shearer, but Shearer just caught offside. Now Carl Tyler to Baker. 1-0 to Barnsley. And Swindon down to 10 men. Long ball, a long chase. Shearer turning well, playing the ball into space. A good turn by McLaughlin, but very well read by the defender. Now Andy Saville from inside his man. A short ball for him. Banks working himself. Banks getting away from his man. A good ball for Cord, and just as wrong. So the opportunity, the challenge came in. What a day it would be if Brian McCord managed to get on the score sheet. Good, hard-working midfield player, always there in support of his colleagues, and normally there with a timely tackle when that's needed. But the in-swinging corner, and it's Archdeacon. Up go the heads, and Swindon wallop this away down the park. Again McCord there to touch it back, and this could be dangerous as Andy Saville turns. Again, what's the referee given? It is in fact a penalty, and Swindon hold their heads in despair. David Kerslake goes over to speak to the referee, and Andy Saville was brought down, no doubt about it. So now that is Steve Agnew going to get on the score sheet, but we've had just almost an hour of this game has gone, and Steve Agnew doesn't waste opportunities like that. So 2-0 for Barnsley, and Steve Agnew from the penalty spot. Swindon really have got problems. Down to 10 men, trailing by 2-0 away from home against the Barnsley side, full of confidence. Now here they come. What happens here? And goal to Barnsley, and this time it's White who's on the spot to strip that one in. An easy chance. Barnsley's concentration slipping just for a moment at the back, and Swindon really doing exceptionally well to pull the ball back and make the score now. Barnsley 2, Swindon 1, just within a minute of the penalty being given. Now this really is going to show just how much character there is in the Barnsley side. Can we take the game to Swindon and really make the most of what should be a great opportunity? Well, it's Swindon coming forward again, playing this one wide over on the far side, and a timely interception by Archdeacon, and his usual good ball forward to Andy Saville. Andy covers the ball well, bringing in Steve Agnew, and Steve brought down on the edge of the box, the referee waving play on. And Steve Agnew, not the sort of player to take a dive, as the referee inferred through his decision. Another ball forward, but offside. Free kick to Swindon. So the long ball forward, but a good clearance, hooked on by Ian Banks. And Banks trying to get to the ball, very timely deflection there at the back. But Swindon still coming in. And well taken that. It didn't look as though that was going to be really his ball, but he made it his through determined, forceful goalkeeping. whistle has gone. And inevitably now, I think the sympathy of the officials has gone towards Swindon, because there didn't appear to be a lot wrong on that occasion. Now, good ball forward, the Blacktown. We've got two players in an offside position. I suppose it's one tactic that Swindon are almost forced to resort to now, having had one player sent off. So I hope the offside game doesn't spoil what was shaping up to be a really attractive game of football. Here's Banks. Good ball forward from Banks to Steve Agnew. Agnew making his way through a morass of defenders there, and eventually sheer weight of numbers beat him. So Swindon still trying to play good football, forcing the way down the flanks. They've got one goal back, but they won't get a second by dropping them that close to goalkeeper Clive Baker. Good layoff now. Oh, nice play by Taggart. Still Taggart leading that one. Agnew back to Banks. Banks across to the far side. Outsteeken up and under. And a good knockdown. Brendan O'Connor, I think, justifiably protesting that the player was backing into him. But again, it's Swindon. Tom Jones, the short ball forward, and says the referee. Free kick to Swindon from a difficult spot, and a substitution being made. Who's going to come on? At least the linesman indicating that the substitution is wanted. So who's the player that's going to go off? No one, says the referee. Swindon going to do with this one. Change of tactics by Swindon, as the referee is determined that the Barnsley wall will be a full 10 yards from the ball. And the substitution has been made by Swindon. Steve Foley has come on. And nothing achieved from the free kick or at this stage from the substitution. There you see Foley on the ball, but Agnew takes over. Good ball forward, but a long pass back for Fraser Digby to take over. And he's kicking the ball much more cleanly, but once again Swindon move it away from the danger area. Andy Saville over there. A long ball down the line. Good running by McLaughlin, but the quality of the pass didn't match the intelligence of the run, and Swindon get the throw. Well, 2-1 to Barnsley. Let's hope that the game doesn't die as a spectacle because of the sending off, and Swindon working hard to try to get back on terms and winning a corner. Now Paul Bowden, not a good corner, easily cleared, but Bowden, a second opportunity, plays it off to Foley. Foley does well, cuts inside, but again, good defensive play and no chance afforded to Swindon on that occasion. Now here we get Simpson doing well, getting past one player, certainly not two, and the majestic Steve Agnew just strokes it away out of danger and sets Ian Banks on his way. Good cross from Banks, well taken by Steve. Steve Agnew, a chip to the far post, and a good opportunity left here, and there it is, number 3, tucked away nicely behind the window, and he is as delighted as anyone. Oh, but player injured, Brendan O'Connell. We can't afford to have him out of the game. He took a knock as he went in with his usual enthusiasm. And Ross McLaren also needing some attention. But I think it was one of those very painful knocks on the knee that really are horrible at the time, but unless there's any serious damage you can quickly recover from. And the pain is usually much worse than the extent of the injury. And it looks, fortunately, as though Brandon is going to be okay, because his enthusiasm this afternoon has been, it's always high, but it's been particularly high today. And Ross McLaren, the Swindon skipper, he's now back on his feet, so everything in order, and Swindon now leading by 3 goals to 1. Well, really there's no hope of Swindon recovering, and certainly not playing that way. And here you see Brendan, lovely through the line. Is this going to be another one? It is. You know what wants to go. It's that Brendan. What a player he is. What a pity he was so thin on top of it. It makes him look a lot older than he really is. But maybe that's a good thing, because the victims, I believe, are assuming that he's older, and that means that he's going to stay here at Barnsley hopefully that much longer, because really his ability warrants perhaps a bigger stage than Barnsley at the moment able to afford him. But I would like him to be the last one to leave the club, or anyone in this side, because it is an excellent side. It's playing well together, playing with understanding and playing as a team. But good a team as it is, Steve Agnew is a very essential part of it. And although he plays extremely well himself, I do believe he makes other players play to their maximum as well. But having said that, now it's Swindon making tracks down the right flank, which is where most of their forays into the Barnsley half have come from this afternoon. They've played more or less exclusively down the right flank, but Barnsley have let them come at them and then just nipped out the danger, and have effectively taken the game to the far end, because at this stage we're leading by 4 goals to 1. Whoops, a little push there, the whistle is gone. Free kick to Barnsley, and disappointment for Duncan Shearer as Clive Baker takes the short kick. Archdeacon on the ball, I think. Good ball inside, but wasted a wee bit by Fleming, and it's to be hoped that sloppiness doesn't come into Barnsley's play now. They've got this comfortable 3-goal cushion, leading by 4 goals to 1, and Swindon must be a totally beaten side by now. Nevertheless, they're trying to play the game in a good footballing manner, and they have played some good football this afternoon, but in the main it's been Barnsley that have been the effective side. Even before Swindon were reduced to 10 men. Now Digby, who started nervously and surprisingly has improved as 4 goals have been put past him, which seems to be a contradiction in terms. So Paul Bowden again. He's got a good left foot, this fullback. The linesman saying no corner. So another waste by Swindon. That could have been played first time and wasn't, into the 6-yard box. Here's for handball, but they're allowed to continue. Taggart unusually being beaten, but McCord tidying up. Swindon coming back at them, Foley running into trouble, and free kick given. The free kick actually was taken from a point out of play, and that's probably why the referee has brought it back. So Steve Agnew a little bit lucky there. Didn't make the contact with the ball that he'd hoped, and Brendan O'Connell really put himself about. This time it's a free kick. Brendan didn't like that, and I think he said something he shouldn't to the referee. And Mr. West from Hull delivering a short lecture to the effervescent Brendan O'Connell. But Brendan scored the vital first goal, so he's probably very happy with his contribution this afternoon. Now Swindon coming back, and a corner followed by a bit of a dive by the player Alan McLaughlin. An excellent player, McLaughlin. Swindon trying to put the pressure on, but in spite of the ball staying in the Swindon area, there's never really the feeling that, in the Barnsley area, there's never really the feeling that Swindon are going to be able to capitalise on their aggression. Good layoff, but once again, Swindon had a man in the right place at the right time. Sorry, Barnsley had a man in the right place at the right time. I do apologise. Now, again, a good layoff. Brendan O'Connell turning it back, going for the return ball and getting it. And trying to fight his way past Simpson. Simpson coming away, playing a good ball inside, and Swindon looking good. Flowing football, Bowden cuts in. Lovely ball back to Simpson, but a timely interception. Now Ian Banks takes over. Good ball forward. Now Andy Saville finding space for himself, tries to get the ball over, but a good interception from Ross McLaren. And Steve Agnew now, what will Steve do with this one? It'll be an in-swinger. but I'm sure he'll place it well. To the near post, up the edge. Another ball tipped away by Andy. Well, good luck to Andy. And again, I repeat what I said earlier, what an inspired by he was from Manchester United. You don't get a lot in football in terms these days for £100,000, but I'm quite sure that already Mel Machin could show a handsome profit on the money he's paid out for this youngster. So, an incredible score, 5-1 to Barnsley here at Oakwell, and the fact that it's been achieved against the 10 men of Swindon shouldn't diminish the quality of the game from Barnsley's point of view. And here they are getting the ball away. Brendan O'Connell being beaten for once, and Bodin coming back. And what determination this lad's showing. He's obviously got a lot of pride. He doesn't relish being in a side that loses by 5-1. Or maybe even more. Optimism must prevail. And again, forceful play from Barnsley. Not prepared to sit back and rest on this cushion of 4 clear goals. Now, good ball, but a good tackle. Throw into Swindon, but I think there's a lot of tired legs amongst the Swindon players now. The extra effort that's been needed because they've lost John Gittins is beginning to tell a wee bit. And once again, Barnsley bring the ball away. Good ball forward. Nicely laid off by Archdeacon in that rather casual manner of his, but a very effective manner. The ball crossed, and I think that was out of play. Yes, it was. So not a great deal that Andy Rammell could do with that one, but wouldn't it be good to see either Andy Rammell or Steve Agnew get the hat-trick? They've both got 2. And there is time for that to happen, but Brian McCall battling away for possession. For once, misses out, but free kick's given, and it's given Barnsley's way. Agnew once again dropping the ball nicely for Bacon. Tower to Fleming and back to Baker. And just for the sheer thrill of it, 5-1 to Barnsley. What a lovely scoreline. And maybe more in the offing as Saville turns well. Makes space, crosses a good one. Good, anyway, Steve Agnew didn't get it correctly, but that could so easily have been his hat-trick. What a celebration that would have been. Now, Saville working well, and the Barnsley players having a crack from practically any angle. As Fitzroy Simpson feeds his own goalkeeper. Long ball down the park, but no threat. And Barnsley come back once more. The ball forward. Was it kept in play? No. So again the long clearance. We're moving now towards the final whistle. 5 goals to 1. And Barnsley in a totally impregnable spot now. This really will do their goal difference the world of good. And there Fleming just steering that back again to Baker. Long ball forward now. Are we going to get another one? And the corner. Andy has got the smell of goals in his nose now. He's got 2. Steve Agnew's got 2. Wouldn't it be delightful if either one of them got another goal? So Archdeacon. Good long ball. This time they had it off target. The crowd appreciating the performance that Barnsley have given today. And still the same enthusiasm flowing through the side. Swindon trying to penetrate this solid Barnsley rear guard, but it's asking an awful lot. Steve Agnew for once losing out, but no real danger. Swindon defence on his final shot, just lifting over the bar. Now Simpson, he's worked hard this afternoon for Swindon, but again playing the ball too far ahead and an easy tidying up job at the back. So Clive Baker, will this be the final goal kick that he takes today? Agnew, good control. Brendan O'Connell still playing as lively and as well as ever as McCord goes away down the right side. Free kick, and McCord gets the linesman's decision quite rightly. Ryan McCord just slight limp at first, but he's shaking that off quite easily. And Digby doing that quite well. I certainly thought if he fettled in the first half, he has done reasonably well in the second half. This was now one of the best displays of the season, if not the best display of the season. So 5 goals to 1. The goal scorers for Barnsley, O'Connell, again. So 2 goals each to Steve Agnew and to Andy Ryan and Brian O'Connell. Brian O'Connell, who did remarkably well in the first half, didn't do quite so well in the second, but nobody could expect him to sustain the pace throughout the whole 90 minutes that he showed throughout the first 45. So an excellent game. a little bit disappointing that a player had to be sent off, because that tends to indicate that the game was a lot harder than in reality. The way it was played. It was played fairly cleanly and with enthusiasm by both sides, but Aussie Ardealers will go on the long journey back to Wiltshire with some very worrying thoughts indeed. But Swindon, who were an outstanding side last season, are not in that category again this time round. But Barnsley, on the other hand, who didn't do terribly well last year, have really come good this time round and are showing the sort of form that could bring promotion.